Baka, economist Professor Patrick Isuming is proposing the immediate cultivation of major food staples to control rising inflation in the country. He's of the view that that's the only panacea to curb the increase of food inflation, arguing the various government intervention policies have not yielded the desired results. Professor Isuming comments follow the marginal increase of inflation for the month of December 2024 to 23.8% from 23% in November 2024, triggered largely by rising food prices.
Well, I think you just been talking about the food inflation for since 2022 or so. Food inflation has been the biggest driver of inflation, and that is real problematic. I think what the immediate thing the government can do is to actually go and set up large-scale commercial farms in a farm place area and get a lot of young people to go and help with production of some of our basic staples immediately. Because the interventions that we are talking about, it seems to face bottlenecks at different points. Let's go and grow more maize, grow more rice, grow more staples, and then start making sure that at the next harvest season, there's more abundance of food and the food prices start coming down. Because the rising food insecurity is a major problem. While we do that, I think we also have to tackle the distribution. Even in periods where food production has been reasonably okay, transport costs has been extremely high because the roads, the main food production centers are not good. If you take yam, for instance, you can have places where the northern part will have an abundance of yam, and yam prices are extremely high down south because we are not making use of, for instance, the water transportation system well enough. And we have not, even our road construction has not really taken proper cognizance of how we make sure that the major production centers are connected to the major market.
The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called on government to work at stabilizing the currency and reduce the cost of borrowing to enable the private sector to thrive. These, the Chamber believes, when achieved, will attract the needed investments to propel growth and development in the country. Mark BoG is the Chief Executive of the Chamber.
Well, a lot of things that we are looking out for. One is the stabilization of the currency. In fact, if your currency is behaving like the way we have experienced for the past 3 to 4 years, it doesn't help in planning. One, because you cannot even plan in the long term. Two, it's also affecting if you really want to take any facility that is long term in nature. You are even afraid, and people need money. The interest rate in Ghana is extremely high, so most of the business would like to go outside and get facilities. But if your city is behaving this way, it wouldn't help you. So obviously, to stabilize the currency and even help to improve on it, it will help us. The other key thing is also the cost of borrowing. I'm expecting that over the period, once we ensure that we have stability in the macroeconomic environment, inflation coming down, policy rate will have to come down, and by extension, interest rate will also follow. And we are likely to see that the cost of borrowing will also go down. Utility, obviously, certain things that, his hands are tied because of the IMF conditionalities, but we need to come together and see how best we can improve the business environment. There's confidence that he has to restore in the economy, and the statement that he made that he's ready to restore that confidence, he's ready to stabilize the economy, he's ready to improve the business environment. For me, it's enough information to anybody, any business, anybody who has interest in investing in Ghana to take advantage of this. So the confidence for me will come back, and all of us will be happy.
Accra is the 5th most expensive city in Africa in terms of rent. This according to Numbeo. There is more in this Business Desk report.
According to the data and research powerhouse, high rents constrain household finances, leaving families with little discretionary income to spend on needs such as food, education, healthcare, and transportation. It stated that a high rent cost raises the question of how important said urban centers are, considering that a lot of jobs these days can be done remotely. Lagos is the most expensive city in Africa, with a rent index of 24.3. It is ranked 122 in the the world. In second, third, and fourth places are Cape Town, Addis Ababa, and Dar es Salaam, respectively. Nambio said, while the importance of urban centers such as proximity to better infrastructure and economic opportunities cannot be disputed, the cost of living against revenue can always be weighed.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has revealed that the lack of funds from the government affected the cleanup of the savings and loan sector. The Bank of Ghana in 2017 commenced a cleanup of the banking sector targeting institutions that breached various laws covering the sector. It was also supposed to move to the savings and loan sector for a similar action, but that was put on hold. However, Dr. Addison maintained steps have been taken to ensure, well, this is curtailed. All right, we shall bring you that visual subsequently. But we want to get onto the phone lines now and engage the savings and loans companies who has joined us here on the bulletin. The Executive Secretary, Chinibu Akudiabuachi, thanks so much, sir, for joining us via Zoom for a conversation on the back of the announcement made by the governor, or revelation made by the governor in respect to, the savings and loan sector cleanup. For you, it appears that it looks like the challenges in the sector still persist, despite the lack of funds embarked upon by the banking regulator, the Bank of Ghana, earlier in 2017.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and good evening to your viewers. The governor of the central bank made some statements to the effect that, yes, there are some few challenges with some few institutions. But I must say that if you look at the savings and loans subsector, we are seeing confidence coming up. We are seeing growth in the deposit base. We are seeing profitability and better governance system being put in place. So I must say that, yes, there were some challenges some time ago, but because of the collaborative efforts between the Bank of Ghana and the industry, we have managed to water down the challenges. And of course, if you look at the comment suggesting that they needed funds to help with depositors, we have actually, as an industry, taken upon ourselves to do a paper and an analysis and a research on what can actually be done. And the first thing we think can be done is not about only money. Yes, money is needed, but there are other things that could be done to support the industry. And with this, obviously, because of the election, we couldn't finalize the conversation with the erstwhile government. And paper is ready. We are expecting that the income government that was sworn in yesterday, which we have already written to the president even before he was sworn in, we will have an opportunity to have a conversation on the plan that we have put in place. And we are very confident that since the savings and loans companies support businesses, support industry, support households, with the plan we have in place, we will be able to continue to support our customers and grow businesses together. And we open our doors, and we are very happy when the president, when he was being sworn in, indicated that he will work with industry. And so we are ready to work with the new government. The work that was not completed by the erstwhile government, we will take it up to a higher notch and then complete that exercise. And we are very confident that the industry, which is being positioned in a better place, will be taken to the next level to continue to support industry, businesses, and all our customers. So we implore our customers to continue to have confidence in their preferred savings and loans companies to do business with.
At least there is some sort of proposal on the table to ensure that the sanity within the industry is maintained. But again, are you worried that with this information, if it doesn't go well or handled well, it could affect the sector? Are you worried about that?
It is your regulator who knows the books. And if you listen to the governor, he actually indicated that it does not pose any systemic challenge to the industry. And so that is the reality, that the industry is strong, the industry is well positioned. An industry that 2 years ago, the balance sheet was around 6 billion. And as at the end of 2024, our balance sheet is around 9.4 billion. And deposit has grown astronomically. Profitability has grown. Our customers are being served better. More loans are being given to our customers. The new government, we know that the country will be able to cushion businesses and serve the interest of the public. So what we are very much encouraged is that the income government has indicated its willingness. So we are waiting to see who will be named the Minister of Finance, so that we will work with the Minister of Finance and other stakeholders that we have already started working with.
All right, finally, before I let you off, tell me, what's the current position of the savings and loans industry as we speak?
Thank you very much. I can say with all certainty and confidence that the industry has grown better. We have put in place better measures in terms of corporate governance. Our institutions are also well capitalized, except the few ones the governor mentioned, which we know that the way forward is not about revoking license, but rather how do we support these weak institutions to come out from their challenges. And we are very confident that the plan that we have in place, one, will save jobs, two, will bring confidence the more, three, will improve investor interest in the industry, four, we will also have an alternate financial services provider that continues to grow. So our doors are continuously open to do business with everybody. But most importantly, we look up to the new government who will be named at the ministry and all other agencies, including the central bank, so that we work with them to continue to build the future that we are all looking up to.
Thanks so much for your time at this very moment. We truly appreciate it. He is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana Savings and Loans Companies. Now, the World Bank has expressed commitment to support the country's tourism development. This comes after the group provided funding support for the refurbishment of the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum to the tune of $3.5 million. There is more in this report.
Originally built in 1992, the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum attracted an average of 98,000 visitors a month prior to its refurbishment. After a facelift supported by the World Bank to the tune of $3.5 million, the final resting place of Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, now attracts about 200,000 tourists monthly. Touring the facility while on a visit to the country, World Bank Vice President for Central and West Africa, Osman Diagana, could not hide his admiration of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He expressed delight about the World Bank's affiliation to the project and its role in Ghana's economic transformation and the tourism industry.
Delighted to have the World Bank actually associated with the expansion and the enhancement of this museum, which is a unique place for African, but beyond African, actually the entire world, to come here to learn from the life, the accomplishment and the legacy of this great leader, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I think his vision, his ideology will continue to inspire the several generations of Africans, certainly the previous generation, the current generation, and the future generation.
On his part, World Bank Country Director for Ghana, Robert O'Brien, explained how the values and vision of Ghana's first president aligns with the World Bank's goal of eradicating poverty and improving socio-economic development.
Including the one where he talks about how to measure progress. And it's really progress about the development of the citizens of Ghana, the number of citizens who have access to clean water, the number who have access to electricity, the number of roads built, the number of children learning in schools, and so on. So I get inspiration from coming here, and indeed, I think one of the aspects of his vision is very much in line with the mission of the World Bank, which is to end extreme poverty and promote shared prosperity on a livable planet. So very much in alignment.
The Ghana Diaspora Nursing Alliance is calling for strengthened collaboration between nurses and diaspora and relevant agencies to improve brain gain in health economy. Now, the founder of the group, Professor Yvonne Commodore-Mensah, explained that the country could develop the sector by leveraging the expertise of Ghanaian nurses practicing outside the country. She spoke at the second annual Ghanaian Diaspora Nursing Alliance conference.
It is estimated that over 5,000 nurses leave the shores of Ghana annually in search of greener pastures. Various factors including inadequate remuneration, limited opportunities for career growth, and lack of access to technology drive the brain drain among Ghanaian nurses. As part of efforts to curb this, the second annual Ghanaian Diaspora Nursing Alliance Conference has been held in Accra. The conference aims to improve investment in the country's health economy through collaboration. Co-founder of the Ghana Diaspora Nursing Alliance, Professor Yvonne Commodore-Mensah, emphasized the need to enhance the skills of nurses and form collaborations with counterparts in foreign countries.
The nurses who leave for different reasons. Some of them leave because they can't find jobs. I actually know of nurses who are trained as nurses but are selling things in the market. And they have a right to work. And in some cases, they have the opportunity to travel elsewhere and work and take care of their families. And they also bring money home, right? So when we think about remittances, it benefits the country. But the concern is, how do we do that in an ethical way? And how do we also, if someone leaves the country, they're not gone for life. How do we stay engaged with them? So if they're learning additional skills elsewhere, how do we bring them back home? Right? If they come for holidays to visit family, they can teach something, they can train someone else, they can make meaningful contributions. So we need to have a balanced discussion about this issue of unemployment and think about ways to prevent it, but also be able to emphasize what Ghanaian nurses and midwives abroad can contribute.
The Nursing and Midwifery Council lauded the initiative and pledged their support. Its registrar, Philomena Adjoanya-Kwawole, noted that encouraging health practitioners in the diaspora to practice and impart knowledge in various nursing training institutions in the country will improve the quality of nurses and healthcare delivery.
Those who are staying and those who think they do not want to leave, what are we doing to them? We need to have these short courses here and there, give them incentive for them to stay, and that is what we are doing at the council.
The event was held on the theme, Brain Gain, investing in nursing education in Ghana and Africa through collaboration.
The executive director of the Institute of Energy Security, Nana Mwesi VII, says government must be proactive in finding ways for the procurement of fuel to avert any possible power crisis. According to him, the dire nature of the situation calls for proactive and rigorous measures to address the power situation. His comment comes after the Chief of Staff directed a new technical committee to deliver a roadmap to address the looming power crisis by the end of the day.
Government has a goodwill. They can trade with that goodwill as soon as possible for procurement of fuel. They've been in government before. They've dealt with suppliers before. I'm sure if they activate their old sources, it may help. If there is nothing wrong also with the current source of fuel supply arrangements, then they can also fall on it because that could be more fluid in coming. But if there are problems, then of course that could be held at bay and interrogated later. But then we must start from somewhere. We must find money. We must find any resource possible to get in the fuel. That's very critical. If not, if we even don't go through the WAPCO plant maintenance and touch wood, anything happen to the pipeline transmission system, we are still exposed as a country. We'll be exposed up until when we have a good reserve or backup of liquid fuel for our power plants.
That's all for Prime Business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Prime Source is next.